Hey there. So, going for a mercifully short blog this week, given that my blogs of late have been a little bit long and unnecessarily so, I think. So, starting off with the trick that I'm sure everybody is hoping that I stop blogging about soon, which is the isolated weave, which I think I've actually made some very, very good progress on this past week. I got a suggestion in the comment form to try out doing isolations with my arms crossed and then switching which hand is on top, which I think I'm actually going to have to qualify this as the single most helpful piece of advice I've yet gotten in terms of performing this move. Which, at this point, it kind of comes and goes. Sometimes I get into the groove of it, and sometimes I don't. But I'm going to call this about 80 to 90% there. And I probably will not be blogging on it again because I think at this point it's just tweaking what I can already do. So, aside from that, plane bending. So, last summer when Alien John introduced me to the concept of diagonal planes, he had mentioned that G had started spinning them in a configuration that looked something like an asterisk, which I found kind of intriguing, but I hadn't actually played around with until this past weekend at a spin jam, in which my friend Eric challenged me to try and make a complete round doing these plane bends using both diagonal planes, horizontal planes, and vertical planes. And I realized that in the process of doing this, my hands are kind of moving around in split time same direction, so one could think of this almost as like a plane bending flower in some ways. So the idea then came to me to say, try doing them, same time opposites. And of course split opposites in the same time, same direction, which I don't have down yet because doing the side to side together is proving to be kind of a challenge for me. We also incidentally play with the idea of, rather than repeating the figure, to switch to the other side and repeat the figure over there, which in that case it really would be more of a 3D movement. The timing's kind of weird though. Like so. Yeah. And finally, so a while back, Poi Boy introduced me to this fun hybrid, which is cap versus pendulum, right? Also at the Spin Jam, we played around with the idea of kind of inverting that, that is to see if we could get the cap to go over top and match it against a pair of stalls, which turns out was not terribly hard to pull off. And this got me thinking, what if you took a similar kind of tact and say, made it so that the figures were not contrasting each other. So for example, what if I were to do cap versus that same top stall? Kind of funky, huh? Especially because it seems that it stops on the side in this kind of quarter time floatishness. It also opened up the possibility of what if we bring the pendulum back into play, and instead of doing a straight up cap versus pendulum, I do the cap on top of it so that they oppose each other. So, for example, that would look like this. Funky, huh? Lets you switch into split time same direction when you're on the top. And just like the original hybrid that Boy demoed, lends itself nicely to unistalls. So that's fun, and yeah, it also opens up the possibility of kind of doing it side to side, for example. So say you do stalls with one hand, and you do cap with the other hand, which I don't think is looking that good just yet. I think this is actually a variation on something that Mireneye was playing with not too long ago. But it has its charm, right? So, yeah, I think that will do it for this week. So thank you guys for watching, and I will be back next week with more tech goodness for you. Peace.